Hi, good morning. So today's topic is using Unix. So using Unix. So to use a Unix, one has to get into the Unix environment. So the process of getting into the Unix environment is nothing but the logging into the Unix system. So there is a concept called daemon process. So daemon process are a process that runs in the background and starts during the system booting and runs as long as system is up. So that is nothing but daemon. So the first process created is init process. So init process spawns a process called getTy process. So getTy process is called for each user to create a terminal. So after creating a terminal, it runs the login process. So the login process reads the login name given by the user at the login prompt, at the login column, and it reads the password, encrypts the password, and compares the encrypted password with the password present in the Unix system in /etc directory. Actually, every Unix every Unix user has some information associated with it, like name, his home directory, login name, and password. So password in encrypted form. So this information is stored in /etc directory. So the login program runs the login program runs the program and compares the password. So it creates the login program creates the shell, and it sets up the terminal environment, and it creates a startup file like dot profile. It runs the dot profile command in Unix. So it compares the process. So this login program, once the user is successful, so once the user enters the correct password and this password is correct, and once the correct password, then the user is allowed to enter into the Unix operating system. So this is done by and a new process called shell program is created. So the shell program runs and it creates a prompt called shell prompt. So the process of getting into the environment is successful is nothing but the prompt appears. So once again, the process of going out of the Unix operating system is nothing but the logging out of the process. So this is the basic process in a Unix environment. The process of getting into the Unix environment is nothing but the logging into the process. The process of getting out of the Unix environment is nothing but the logging out of the process. So how we know a user is successful or not? So if a dollar prompt is successfully appeared, that means the user is successfully entered into the Unix operating system. So this is the basic thing which will happen, and every user has a login information. Every user has a login ID and also a password. So these two is unique to the user, and encrypted password in etc directory will be in encrypted form. So every user has a line in the /etc /passwd file. So this file contains several lines where each line contains the information about the user, like his name, his roll number, and his username, his password, and his home directory. So this is the basic information present in the password file at each line. And what are the different sequence of steps present in the logging process? So first one is unit gets created, then so this is shown in the diagram. So unit gets created, then shell prompt, first unit process is created, then getTy is created, then login is created, then login gets called, then shell gets called, and finally init gets called again to go back into the again init gets called. And if you want to log in out of system, you can simply log out of the system by typing the logout. So this is about the logging process using the Unix. And what are the different prompts present in the Unix shell? So there are different shells present in the Unix, and also for each shell there is an associated prompt present. For example, for Bon and K shell, dollar prompt will appear whenever user successfully log into the system. And in case of C shell and K shell, percentage prompt will appear whenever a user successfully log into the Unix system. And in case of a root user, it is hash. So this is about the different prompts present in the different prompts present in the Unix operating system. Thank you.